Hello and welcome to JP's LEGO Reviews. Today I have a question for you. Should you buy your LEGO from Bricklink? Now this is an important question because a lot of people use Bricklink, especially those who make mocks and custom LEGO. So is Bricklink any good and should you use it? Well, let's find out. The two main types of LEGO that you can buy on Bricklink are parts and minifigures and also Lego sets. Now regarding parts and minifigures, the main type things that I'm going to be talking about with this section are the variety of pieces that you can choose from, the competition that sell parts and minifigures, and if Bricklink is actually the best option for you. Now regarding parts and minifigures and the variety of the pieces, now, you got to understand that Bricklink works like a market. So, in a market, you have different vendors selling you different items, but they're all under the same roof. Well, you have Bricklink stores, like maybe one sells specifically just black pieces. This is an example, and another one may sell just medieval or Middle Ages sort of pieces and minifigures. These stores sell whatever they want, but basically you buy your Lego pieces / minifigures from a store using the Bricklink marketplace. So I think that's a good idea of basically explaining what Bricklink is in a quick way. And because of this, you're basically going to find every single piece that ever existed that Lego produced on Bricklink somewhere. And also with minifigures, you'll find most of it as every single, I would say most, I can't say all, but I definitely say 99% of Lego minifigures that are manufactured, you'll find it on Bricklink. The only minifigures you won't actually see on Bricklink are custom minifigures or custom pieces. You may see some on Bricklink too, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to see everything just because Bricklink is geared towards, not legitimate, but Lego produced products, not bricks produced by someone else, as an example. Now, looking at the competition, with Lego manufactured pieces and minifigures, you have Lego, you have eBay, and these guys basically sell you pieces and minifigures, but I wouldn't recommend either of these options simply because they don't have enough options. For example, when I was looking for a bunch of different pieces that I needed to complete the sets that I needed to complete, Lego only stocked half of the pieces that I needed. But I went onto Bricklink and I used about 4 different sellers, but all those 4 combined gave me every single piece I needed to complete the build. So if you're looking for a large variety of pieces, just use Bricklink. And also looking at the other type of competition, which is, for example, Brick Arms, which is a Lego military arms manufacturer. And these guys specialize in specifically military minifigures and minifigure accessories. But with these sorts of specialized or custom made items of Lego, you're just not going to find them on Bricklink just because Bricklink isn't geared towards that sort of market. So if you're looking for just pieces that you need, really, like if you want something customized like a Star Wars helmet or something like that, you're better off going to a customized kind of store because that's what they specialize in. But anything that Lego manufactured from their own factory, you'll find it on Bricklink. Now, is Bricklink the best option? Well, it's not the best option, it's the only option. And the reason why I say that is it does more than just be the best. For Lego produced parts, Bricklink has by far the biggest amount of variety simply because it's a marketplace, and also because of that, it kind of just kills any competition that may have existed, simply because you can buy basically every piece that Lego have manufactured ever in the same umbrella. It may be for different countries or different stores, but it's on the same system. When it comes to customized stuff, then Bricklink isn't your best option, but this video really isn't talking about customized pieces. It's more about Lego made stuff. Like, I purchased pieces made from Lego, not from a customized store, and that's why I think Bricklink is the best and the only option for anyone seriously considering buying parts for either their Lego builds or just something else in general. Now, let's talk about the sets. Let's talk about the variety of sets, the competition, comparing the pricing from competition to competition, and seeing if, again, Bricklink is the best option. Now, let's first up look at the variety of sets. Now, Bricklink is a bit special here, because you can find your normal Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, or City set that you want to buy, but you don't just get those sets. And here's an example, an ATTE. You're going to find this somewhere. You'll be able to get it and then just deal with it. But Bricklink also has their own sets. So this is from their Lego Ideas program, the Castle in the Forest, and basically, because of this Ideas program that Lego have partnered up with Bricklink, a lot of rejected Lego Ideas sets still exist as Bricklink sets. And this is really interesting because Bricklink is the only main wholesaler of these specialized sets. And this gives Bricklink an advantage, because if you wanted, for example, the Castle in the Forest set, it'll probably cost you a lot more if you went to eBay or Amazon rather than just going with Bricklink to get this Bricklink set. And I don't know about the quality of it, but because Lego have manufactured it themselves, it's going to be good. And it's going to be just like another Lego set, except it's going to be a little bit different. Now, let's move on to the competition. You have eBay, Amazon, and, well, Gumtree. Now, for those internationally, you're probably going to relate to a store called Craigslist more than Gumtree. Now, what these types of stores are basically is that a person just sells anything they want to a buyer, and usually they pick it up. So this is not really Lego, this is like cars. Like, a lot of cars have been sold through Gumtree, as for an example, like in the used car market, and those who wanted the car, they go to the person's home, they pay them, then they get the car and drive away. Now, what's interesting about this is, because it's Lego, this sort of format is very interesting, and I will show you that a bit later. But basically, eBay, Amazon, Gumtree, and other stores kind of like these would be the competition for Bricklink. But which one is actually better? Let's look at two sets that have been released in 2016 and 2015. They've retired for a while. They're off the market for a while, so stock is just continually dwindling for new sets. And then let's look at the average prices. As a trend, Bricklink is actually a bit expensive. Now, it does depend, like, there's a lot of variability. Now, if you're wanting to get the best option, I would get rid of Amazon immediately, because in both instances, the average price of Jokerland and Krennic Shuttle on Amazon is just the most expensive, so we have to eliminate them. But we got eBay, Gumtree, and Bricklink. I would get rid of Bricklink next, actually. Even though for Jokerland they technically have the lowest average price, the reason why I'd say this is actually because on Bricklink they don't tell you what the final delivery costs are going to be. For example, if you're purchasing a dry clan for $280, they're shipping it from the US. Because this is a small vendor, they're probably going to charge you maybe 50 to 60 extra dollars. Now, these dollars, by the way, are in Australian dollars, not in US dollars, but this basically represents the same sort of idea. With Bricklink, you still have to also add on the delivery price as well, and that can be very high depending on where you're getting it from. So Bricklink, it looks pretty reasonable on paper, but because of shipping, you really should get rid of it unless you're buying your set domestically. And if it's a low price domestically, then you should get it. But if you're getting internationally, I don't recommend it at all. Now let's look at eBay. Now, eBay and Gumtree are, I can't really give Gumtree the entire win, and here's why. Now, normal people sell this, like parents, just your regular people who don't really know what they're doing on these types of sites. So you're probably going to see lower prices simply because half of these people don't actually know what their set is really worth. They just want to get rid of it. And this is a very intriguing prospect for using Gumtree. And if you saw a good set on this sort of like Craigslist or Gumtree kind of website, definitely go for that website's price if it's the lowest, because you're going to get a good deal. But also, I can't guarantee that they will always stock something simply because of the nature of these stores. eBay, even though it's a little bit more expensive, you can often trust the price of eBay simply because eBay is such a large corporation and there's a lot of users that are using eBay. So basically, it doesn't matter what you're looking for, there's going to be some sort of stock. But I would honestly recommend for anyone considering a Lego set, and let's actually go to, is Bricklink the best option? I'd honestly recommend just shopping around. Don't get too caught up with one type of store or the other. Just look for the best price for your retired set that you want and get it. That's all the advice I can give you. Just shop around, look for the lowest price, including shipping, and then pay that price. Or don't pay it if you still think it's too expensive. Now, what is my final verdict? My final verdict is that Bricklink is definitely a good option for a lot of Lego fans, and if you're watching this, you probably have used Bricklink, or maybe you haven't. I don't really know who's going to watch this, but I definitely recommend you use Bricklink. You're not going to get a bad experience from them, but it's just going to be a bit different. Now, the one thing I would warn you about is for international kind of payments, unlike other websites, you got to use PayPal or a direct bank transfer. You can't use just your credit card. Like, that's just something I wanted to warn people about in case if they don't have PayPal, you should set it up if you don't have one. And also with Bricklink, for parts and minifigures, it's your only good option, and for sets, just shop around. Anyway, I don't really have any more thoughts about Bricklink. If you enjoyed the video, then please smash the like button, and if you want to see more content just like this, then please subscribe. I hope you all have a great day, and yeah, keep building.